Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Alien. So this is a bit of a weird one because I haven't seen Alien, but I have seen Prometheus. I don't remember much of Prometheus, but I feel like my viewing of that was definitely hampered by not having seen anything else in the Alien franchise. I can barely remember it, but I remember not really enjoying it. I don't know how well received it was with people who were fans of the original movies. And obviously, this is super famous. There are things I know about it. I've seen the Xenomorph, I've seen Facehuggers, I've seen Chestbursters. I know Sigourney Weaver is the main character, Ridley, right? And, you know, I think she's like the only survivor at the end, but it's about the journey along the way. There's still a lot of things I don't know about this. I've only just seen that John Hurt's in it. It was just like in the starring bit on Amazon. So there's still a lot I really don't know about this. So I am still excited to see it. So this is carrying on with our Halloween special. We had 28 Days Later, Train to Busan, The Lighthouse. Now we have Alien. And on Halloween night, we'll have Coraline to round out this Halloween special on the channel. I also saw that there was a director's cut, but I did a bit of research and apparently the theatrical cut is the one to watch. And then for Aliens, that's better as the director's cut. So I'm going to be watching the theatrical cut. And, you know, it's 3 hours the other one. 2 hours is enough for me for a horror film, you know? So yeah, let's just jump into Alien. Oh yeah, how it comes in. It's quite famous, isn't it? The typography is actually really nice. I don't know if this inspired some more like futuristic typology or if this was just kind of following that trend. Crew 7, a towing vehicle. They're going to Earth. Okay, so there's like Earth in this universe. I do like it when the ships look like they've been kind of worn in. They're not like super, I mean it's futuristic, but it's not like all super clean and minimal. It's like it's lived in, you know? Those are cool looking helmets. I don't think I've ever seen those before. There's a cool design on them. Nostromo. Was the name of the strip was Nostromo, or was that the planet they were coming from? Oh, they were in like cryostasis on their way back. they give Sigourney Weaver the thinnest bit of fabric just to cover her boobs. John Hurt looks so young. Wow. I guess this is 79, so this is 40 years ago. Wow. I'm sure it must be the name of the ship because he's got it in his jacket as well. So some parts of the ships look more high-tech than others. Other parts look really run down. Do all of these lights have a purpose? Are they all like warning lights or something?
You ever notice how they never come down here? I mean, this is where the work is, right?
Oh, okay, so some of them stay in the nice cushy area and some have to come down here.
Some of you may have figured out we're not home yet. We're only halfway there.
Yeah.
Mother's interrupted the course of our journey.
They got awoken early.
Intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out.
A transmission?
Is it the alien? So they think it's an SOS.
But this is a commercial ship, not a rescue ship.
Right.
Yeah. You know, are they aware of aliens existing, or do they still think humans are the only ones in the universe?
Any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated on penalty of total forfeiture of shares.
Total forfeiture of shares. Oh wow, that really went wrong. Just that off landing.
It's a whole breach.
Whole breach. I wonder what that noise they heard earlier was. Was that the alien getting on board somehow? So they're all stuck here on this little like scout ship basically.
It's 17 hours, fella.
17 hours. 25 hours.
Well, Mother says the sun's coming up in 20 minutes.
How far away from the source of transmission?
Northeast. Just under 2,000 meters.
2,000 meters. So they might be able to go out. They probably have suits and stuff to get out there on. So they're going to go investigate, and that's how the alien gets on board. Seeing some of these shots, it does make you wonder how they filmed this back in the day. Was that a miniature, and they composited them walking over the top? Because it's pretty flawless.
If they find what they're looking for out there, that mean we get full shares?
Don't worry, Parker, yeah. You'll get whatever's coming to you.
You'll get whatever's coming to you. Sounds a bit ominous. We're just looking out for things in the background. See if there's an alien following them or something. The exhaling, that's cool. The little steam on top. Oh, and that's the ship.
I've never seen anything like it.
This is first contact for humanity, maybe?
Dallas.
Oh, they've lost communication. Never good. Oh, and here we're getting some H.R. Geiger scenery. It's iconic at this point, you know, almost influenced sci-fi for the last 40 years. It looks like bones almost, doesn't it? Like a rib cage. All these very natural forms. It's in like stark contrast to our kind of technology. And it does just make it feel more alien, you know? It's all like covered in slime or something. CC. Is there something up here? It's just like the chair. That is huge, isn't it? I can't tell if that's supposed to be like the skeleton of someone sitting in that chair, of whatever was piloting this ship. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a skeleton or it just looks like it's made of like stone or something. Either way, the imagery there is amazing.
It's been dead a long time.
Yeah, okay, so it is bones. Fossil. Oh yeah, it's fossilized, so that's why it looks like stone. Okay.
It's been outward.
Oh yeah, that must be a chest burster was in that alien, whatever it was. So this isn't to do with the xenomorph, this one, which is just to this kind of skeleton of this alien that has been attacked by a xenomorph chest burster. And you can see it's almost got like a face mask, like a air quality thing that's been fossilized as well, like a breathing tube.
What do you got? Well, see what you make of this.
Something in the eye? I thought the eye was going to move there, but it's not.
Mother's deciphered part of it. It doesn't look like an SOS.
Well, what is it then?
Well, it looks like a warning.
A warning not to go there.
I mean, but the time it takes to get there, they'll know if it's a warning or not.
Maybe not. So whatever that dead alien was giving out a warning to people not to come to this planet, basically. I wonder if Mother is like an actual person or if it's like some sort of AI that they are entrusting.
A cave of some sort, but
William Hurt's voice is so iconic. Even all this time later, it still sounds like it does when he's like old. There's a blue light coming up from there. This is just huge, this place, this ship. I didn't realise the scale of it. I guess if the alien is so big, the whole ship has to be scaled up as well. The alien looked like 10, maybe even like 20 feet tall. I wonder if it originates from a planet with lower gravity.
this is completely enclosed.
Oh, are these all of the eggs?
Leathery objects like eggs or something.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like maybe the eggs were trapped there and he's like breaking through that barrier that's trapping them in there. There's this laser that he's...
Layer of mist just covering the eggs that...
He just slipped, but he knocked one of the eggs. Oh, it's like bubbling or something.
It's sealed.
Oh, the eggs have been sealed. It was like the alien... It sealed the eggs closed. Oh, that's cool. The liquid dripping upwards. That looks like an eye almost. There's movement in there.
It's gonna have life. Organic life.
Oh yeah, that looks like a face hugger, doesn't it? It's hatching. I'm ready for a jump scare. Yeah. We had a helmet on. I don't know if that would shatter through the helmet. So you might be okay. From what I understand, a facehugger latches onto your face and then plants an egg in you, and then that's the chest burster coming out, and then the chest burster transforms into the final xenomorph. Did they get him back safe then? They're not showing if he's okay or not. It's just the two of them.
If we let it in, the ship could be infected. You know the quarantine procedure.
24 hours for decontamination.
In the hatch open.
And he opened it anyway. Oh, it's like melted through. But it has attached itself to his face. And it's wrapped itself around his neck as well. Or was that holding him hostage? You need a way to like sedate it, I guess. Because if you tried to like attack it, it could strangle him. If you tried to cut the tail around his neck, it could do something to his face to kill him. Oh, just like peel it off, see if it reacts.
How come you guys don't freeze him?
Freeze him in the cryostasis and hope that it kills the alien. Oh, they're like x-raying him, but then they might see that it's like planted an egg in him, perhaps, in his chest.
Now, we're assuming it's feeding him oxygen. If we remove it,
Would that kill him?
could kill him.
You don't know if it's done any damage to his windpipe. I would cut the tail and do the knuckle at the same time. Oh, it's like acid. Yeah, because it melted through his...
Craft can eat through the hull.
It melted through his mask. It's very strong acid.
Next day.
How do you even stop that at that point, you know?
Looks like it's stopping.
Yeah, how do you even stop that? Do they have some sort of alkaline they can use to neutralize it? But you can't like catch it. It would just melt through a bucket, wouldn't it?
It's got a wonderful defense mechanism.
Yeah. It's like bioengineered for killing, right? It's like evolved to survive. I don't know if they evolved or if they were bioengineered. I don't know, there's the engineers, the white guys, right? Was the skeleton that we saw earlier was one of the engineers that like created life, like created humans and xenomorphs, I think. I'm not sure. There's so much about this I'm like not exactly sure on.
Shedding his cells and replacing them with polarized silicon.
Shed your skin and replace it with silicon. Yeah. Broke the rules and let them on. It's gonna be the demise.
Maybe I've jeopardized the rest of us, but it was a risk I was willing to take.
Yeah, risking other people's lives. It's not your... Why does he get to choose over these other people's lives?
I think you should have a look at Kane.
Why?
Something's happened.
If something's happened, is this the chest burster?
Where is it?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, it's gone.
Let's check it.
I wouldn't go into that room because they know it latched onto his face. They know it could be anywhere about to jump out and attack them. I wouldn't go in there unless I was wearing like proper protective gear. Even then it like melted through, so... Yeah, it could have got out if that door was left open there. It could have melted through the floor somewhere as well, couldn't it?
Kane?
Was it in the overhead?
That's the line.
It's dying. Very realistic, all of like the organs and stuff in there. I wonder how they did that.
Seems dead enough.
Well, good. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, they gotta keep it as a sample. They need to like properly seal it up.
How far there is?
10 months. Oh, God.
10 months, and they can't go back into their cryostasis.
I think you should come and see Kane.
Has his condition changed?
It's simpler if you just come and see him.
We're on our way.
Oh, chest burster. He's awake. Nice seeing them all kind of enjoying themselves, having fun together, having a chat. He's eating a lot, isn't he? Oh, he's struggling.
What's the matter? The food ain't that bad. I'm trying.
I didn't think this would happen here at the dinner table. I thought it would happen in the infirmary. Oh. Can't hold him down. Oh. Get out of that room. He's still alive. He's still shaking. Oh, there's a heartbeat. And he just scurries off. Are they releasing him out into space? His body? Yeah, ejecting it. It's probably safest to do that, to be honest, in case he's got anything else in his body. Yeah, get different weapons. They have to have makeshift weapons, you know? So they were just like a mining crew, right? So...
Catch it, put it in the airlock.
Get it out. I do wonder if in any of the marketing they actually showed what the xenomorph looked like, or if it was a surprise for the movie. So at this point you just think it's like this small little creature, but eventually you know it's going to grow to the full size, right? In there apparently, okay. I feel like is it bigger than they expect it's going to be? Or if it's quite small, it could fit through that net. Oh, it's the cat.
Oh, good, go and get it, man.
Oh, and now they're going to split up. Did they know that there's a cat on board? Or was that a surprise? It seems like they must know. Is this a cool looking room? What is this? It looked like a giant door in front of him. Yeah, I don't feel like this guy's going to last long. Oh, it shed his skin. Yeah, like a snake. And that does kind of look like rubber, but they kind of explain that away with the silicone thing, you know? How they said it replaces his skin with silicone. I wonder if they wrote that into the script as like an explanation away, or if that was on purpose. I wonder what it looks like now, if there's a mid-form. As soon as I saw the shed his skin, I would have taken that back to the others. Oh, I don't like this. The camera movement from his point of view. Why is there water in here in this room? They're in space, it's not raining. Is it a leak or something? Yeah, what is with the rain here? I don't get it.
Hey, come on, Dundee. Come on, baby.
Is it something to do with this room's function? Is it like a plant, like there's plants and stuff, but that doesn't look like it. Oh. Look at its giant. Wow, it grew so quick. Oh, not really seeing what it's doing to him. It grew so quick. I was expecting maybe like we saw like it's smaller and gets bigger and bigger throughout. What are my chances? Does not compute. So they don't know the chances of survival. So is that room like an AI or something like that? Or is he talking to the mother, whatever that is? That's cool, opening like an aperture on a camera.
I'm moving on.
I'm moving on. That sounds like you're moving on into the afterlife, doesn't it? It's very ominous. I don't actually know if fire is effective. This is just like a test. I know the alien is quite advanced, like sensory, isn't it? So if the alien might be able to like feel the temperature, feel like, or hear that he's coming close, you know? Because it's like an apex predator, basically.
The third junction, I'm going down.
I'm going down as well. It's like they're using all of this terminology that's like associated with dying or getting injured. It's very foreboding.
Are you sure that it's not there? I mean, it's got to be around there somewhere.
There's this like saliva.
Dallas, are you sure there is no sign of it? I mean, it is there.
Look behind you.
I'm not Coraline, but I want to get the hell out of here.
It's coming towards him. Oh.
No blood.
No blood. You just completely like obliterated him.
I don't hear anybody saying nothing
I'm
around this
thinking.
place.
We never got to see if the flamethrower actually worked on it though.
Well, then why don't we draw straws?
I'm not throwing any straws. I'm for killing that goddamn thing right now.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, let's talk
You can't, yeah, you can't leave someone behind. Evacuating would be good, but you can't abandon someone.
Until we have it cornered, and then we'll blow it the fuck out into space. Is that acceptable to you?
She's taking charge now, isn't she? She's second in command, so she's in charge now, right?
Ash, go with him.
No, I can manage as you.
No, you want to go. Everyone needs to do everything in pairs.
What would you like me to do?
Just what you've been doing, Ash. Nothing.
It seems like Ash cares more about the idea of the discovery of the alien than he does about their lives, almost. It seems like he's got something. He's got ulterior motives. Is he going off on his own to try and hunt it down, or is this just him being cautious, going to refuel? Okay, she's going to talk to her mother now. Gather specimen. Crew expendable. Okay, yeah. Oh, that he's right there.
There's an explanation for this, you know.
Yeah, so back on Earth, Mother or whoever it is, they just want... They care more about the alien than the crew.
You open the door?
Oh, what's that? It's white. Oh, it was dripping down his... Ooh, what is happening? Is he a cyborg or something? How strong do you have to be to rip it out of your head like that? And then it's dripping, is not sweat or something. It might be like oil. What's he trying to do? He seems super strong, yeah. Yeah, so he has to be a cyborg or an android. Yeah. So he's an android and he's working for Mother to bring back the alien.
All I can think of is they must have wanted the alien for the weapons division.
So they knew about the alien. This whole project, this whole journey was to get the alien actually, and the government want the alien for weapons because it's such like an alpha predator. They want to examine it, maybe clone it somehow to use it for weapons, as a weapon if they could. They're trying to turn him back on so they can talk to him when he's just ahead.
Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded.
Crew expendable.
There's gotta be a way of killing it. How? How do we do it?
You can't.
You can't kill it, but they can launch it into space, so it's at least in the void of space.
Perfect organism.
Yeah. Apex predator, basically. And that's why Ash opened the door earlier to let them in, because he knew that it would bring it on board.
We'll take our chances in the shuttle. Blow up the ship.
Yeah. Evacuate and then just blow up the ship. Hopefully just keep the alien isolated to this planet. That's their best bet, really, to isolate the alien somehow so it doesn't get to other planets. Are they saying that ship wouldn't hold 4 of them? That must be able to hold all 4 of them. What? Is she going back for the cat? Or is that the shuttle, this here, what they've got? Oh, they're just getting the fuel. Jones makes for so many jump scares, doesn't he? Like, I understand you might have some sentimental connection to the cat, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's a cat. You can leave it behind. She's seen it. Get out of the way. Does it have eyes, like, or is it just audio and smell, you know? He's gonna have to burn her and it. Oh, it's hard to see what it's actually doing to them, the way they've cut it. He's just like biting off with his fists. Is he just like holding it back? The double mouth is so cool. Oh, it's like, did that just like pierce his throat? She's just frozen with fear, isn't she? Oh, she's seen the bodies. What was that? Her foot like dangling there. Emergency destruction system. Let's just blow up the whole ship. Everywhere's been filled with steam or gas or something. I'm not sure how this ends actually. I don't know if Ripley gets out of this alive or not. I don't know if she's in the sequels. She's more worried about looking behind her than she's looking ahead. I feel like it's going to be right there.
3 minutes.
Just got to stay very still. Yeah, I don't know if it has eyes. Does it actually have eyes? The flashing effect there was cool. You don't really see the whole thing. Oh, it's after Jones. Okay, so she's got 6 minutes left. Is she going to try and cancel it then?
25, 24, 23, 22.
Because she can't get to the escape shuttle because the alien's right there.
Override detonation procedure has now expired.
So it is going to detonate. So self-destruct's going to happen. So you're going to try and escape the ship before it can self-destruct, but then you risk the alien latching onto the ship somehow and surviving. This is right where it was, isn't it? What's going on? Is that just explosions being caused by the ship? For a second there I was like, has the alien got the flamethrower? She's got a minute to get out of there and get out of the blast zone of the ship as well, basically. I felt like the alien might be in where she is now, or like holding on to it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it was a huge explosion. There's multiple explosions? Whoa, that was a cool effect. Is there 4 explosions because she planted like the 4 things down? I feel like it's panning to reveal that it's sitting right next to her. And there's an iconic shot of her like looking terrified and it's like right by her face. But maybe that's in the sequel, in one of the sequels. Because this must be winding down to an end here soon, right? I guess the cat must have been in cryostasis as well. There's no way it would have survived on the ship without being in cryostasis. This feels like too calm. I'm still like on edge. Is that it right there? Like that's the top of his head. Am I just... Yeah. It like blended in with the materials around it almost. She doesn't have a flamethrower. Okay, she's got a spacesuit on. Is she doing it just for protection, or is she gonna go out into space, like open up the airlock with it so it gets launched out and she's out in space and then she can return? Got a weapon. That looked almost like a harpoon. Oh, is she tying herself into the chair so she can open the airlock, perhaps? Okay, so she has some controls over the ship to attack it with that steam. That looks like that is hurting it. I love that. It's right there. Oh, it held on. And lets it go on, yeah. But it's still on the outside of the ship. Has it survived out there? It's trying to crawl back in. It'll finally get launched off.
This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.
Okay, that was Alien. I really enjoyed that. You know, this is a classic, so there's not much to say that hasn't already been said. I do think this holds up really well, because sometimes I feel with a film that's so like acclaimed like this, I'm going to watch it and not enjoy it and feel like, you know, it hasn't held up well, and I feel like I'm kind of missing out on the hype, or worried to say like, oh, it wasn't quite up my alley because of how poorly it's aged, but this did hold up really well. There were a few things in here that I was expecting, but I didn't get. So there's the classic scene where the xenomorph is like right up by her face, and then there's a scene where she is like in a mech suit or something fighting it, or like she's not like fighting it, but she's like pushing it. So I imagine those are in Aliens or in another one of the sequels. Those are like some of the most iconic scenes from the franchise, I guess, and they're just not in the first one, which I didn't realize. I just assumed they were in this because of how iconic those scenes are, you know? All of the kind of tension and suspense holds up really well. Even some of the jump scares here still got me. I think the thing that holds up the least well is probably the actual xenomorph. Most of the time it looks really good, but there's a few shots where you see like the whole body and you can tell it's just like a guy in a suit, and there's like when it like gets launched out into space is very kind of like T-pose robotic looking, you know? But I think apart from that, the rest of the movie holds up really well, and it still looks really gorgeous as well. There's still some kind of leftovers from like that period of time, I guess. Like a lot of the action when the xenomorph attacks, you don't really see what's happening. It's kind of hard to follow, but I feel like that's more a sign of the time that it was made rather than anything else. And that does almost add a bit to the fear factor because you're not quite seeing what exactly is happening. You're just seeing like the people screaming and their facial expressions after what's happening to them, you know? It was crazy seeing John Hurt so young, because when I think of him, I think of like an old man. I don't envision him so young. But when I think of Sigourney Weaver, I kind of think of this version of Sigourney Weaver, I guess. I guess it's just kind of what media you're exposed to with them in is kind of what you envision them as. Because I think of Sigourney Weaver as still quite young, I guess. But then John Hurt, he's past now, but he was quite old. And for a movie that's 42 years old, actually, that's crazy. I didn't realize how old it actually was because it came out in 79. So 42 years ago. And it still holds up so well. And of course, the H.R. Geiger influence is great here. All of these designs with the alien and the alien ship, so we have the xenomorph, which is like iconic, and then you have the skeleton of the guy who's like sitting in the chair. I don't know if there's a name for the alien, so I'm just going to refer to it as the alien, I guess, and refer to the xenomorph as the xenomorph. The design of that whole ship was really cool. It was very natural and obviously inspired by nature, I guess, because there's like elements that look like bones and rib cages and things, and it makes it look very alien. And there's a lot of mystery here. I know we do get like answers in future movies. There's the whole thing with like the engineers and stuff. I can't remember too much about it, but that's what I kind of know. I don't know how well received some of the other films are. I know Prometheus, some people really liked it, some people didn't. I don't know if Aliens was received really well. I think that was. And then there's like Alien versus Predator and all of these things. But I think just like this as a standalone movie works really well. It's kind of like a bit of a classic setup. You're like isolated on a ship and there's an alien in there hunting the crew. You can't go wrong with that concept. I was really intrigued by this concept of mother as well. I don't know if that was like an artificial intelligence or there is just like some leader on Earth who's commanding them to do all of these things. And then there was that whole plot twist with Ash, him being like a cyborg. That was really cool. I wasn't expecting that at all. So it was really cool seeing that. I hope maybe in the future movies they do explore that side of it as well. If it is like an AI, we find out who Mother is perhaps. Ripley is returning to Earth. So maybe in a sequel, we do get to see some of the more Earth-based stuff. I don't know. I think revealing more information could either like make or break it, because you could expand it into this really deep, rich lore, or by you explaining things, you kind of ruin some of the mystery, You have to, there's like a balance there that you have to get right for expanding on this universe. This does make me wonder what the director's cut was like, because it's a whole hour extra. So I'm not really sure what they would add there. Maybe just even more scenes of them being hunted by the xenomorph, or maybe a few more scenes to get to know the characters even better, seeing a bit more of like their banter and them just being friends and stuff, so you get a bit more of like emotional connection to them perhaps before everything goes down. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.